This, guys, is an absolutely classic question. Why? Because it pretty much always trips people up. Let's have a look at how to solve x squared plus 7x is equal to 0. What we see here, guys, is that we actually have a quadratic equation. We know that because we have an x squared term here. In this case, the coefficient of x squared, the number next to the x squared, is actually this 1, which hasn't been written in because 1x squared is just x squared. And then we have a 7 next to the x. Normally, with a quadratic equation, we also have a number on the end. For example, this could be x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. We would then find two numbers which multiply to give the number on the end, add to give the number on the middle, and then factorize and reverse the signs in the brackets. If you're not sure what I meant there, have a look at the previous video, which went through factorizing regular quadratics. How, though, do we solve one like this, where we don't have a number on the end, where the value of c is technically equal to 0? The key here, guys, and people always miss this out, is that we can factorize pulling out a factor of x. We have a common factor of x squared and 7x. That common factor would be x. So we can actually write this as x times by x plus 7. That's because the x times the x would give us the x squared, and then the x times by the 7 would give us the 7x. From here, what do? We find the two different values of x, which would make this equation work out. We find the two different values of x, which mean that x times by x plus 7 is equal to 0. Now, one of the values is going to be that x is equal to 0, because then we have 0 times by whatever this is, and that is going to give us 0. The other value of x would be whatever value makes this bracket equal to 0, because then we would have this bracket of 0 times by whatever this value of x is, and that would also work out to be 0. So, to summarize, what would we have? We'd have that the two values are x equals 0. That would be for this left-hand value of x. And then for the right hand, what value of x would make this bracket equal to 0? It would be x is equal to minus 7, because negative 7 plus 7 would be equal to 0, making that bracket equal 0. So we're going to have as our second value of x that x is equal to minus 7, and those are going to be our two answers. To summarize that very quickly, guys, how do we solve one like this? We actually just factorize, pulling out a factor of x. Then we have our two values of x equals 0, and whatever value would make this bracket equal to 0.